Welcome to Gritem for the 7th round of the AF1 Championship here in 2021. We're here at this 3.9 mile, 14 turn circuit for a 48 lap race tomorrow. But today is the practice and qualifying highlights. We have two long DRS zones at this track, one on the front straight, one on the straight just afterwards. Sector 1 it consists of two hairpins in a row and then one long straight with a kink in the middle of it. Back and forth hairpins in Sector 2 leading to a surprisingly flat out right-hander down the hill. A lot of elevation at this track, the most elevation of any track on the calendar with set to the race after this. The final sector, very twisty and very medium speed. Two speed traps on the fastest points of the track, of course. So, before we get into qualifying, let's have a look what happened in practice. In FP1, a huge accident for Yuki Tsunoda, who had touched his rear right wheels on the gravel going down into the hairpin of turn 5, sorry, and would hit the wall rear first in FP2. We had another incident for Lando Norris, the first accident he's had all season by himself, as he would go into the wall head on, getting on the curb too much on the inside, going into the hairpin of turn 8, and spearing off into the wall on the right hand side. A big accident for the McLaren driver. And then we go to qualifying. So in Q1, it was very interesting to start off with a huge crash for Antonio Giovinazzi, doing what Tsunoda did in practice, but just a little bit earlier on the lap, the corner before. He would overcorrect on the gravel trap and spear into the wall, on the destroying the left-hand side of his car on the right-hand side of the track. A lot of damage done. Luckily, no gearbox penalty was given, and also disaster. The Bottas would go fastest. People would fight for track position in Q2 with Ricciardo and Russell going there. Russell with a good performance in 11th place. Bottas would go fast in Q2, but he was fastest in Q3. But before then, Leclerc would have a spin. Spinning around at the first corner, just getting on the power too early and spinning at the first corner. But as I said, Bottas on pole position, a great lap from him. Very well done from Bottas. Second pole of the season for the Finnish driver as he would fly through the final sector. It was purple in the last two sectors, yellow in the first sector though, but that wouldn't matter as he would go on pole position. Here are your qualifying results. Hamilton and Bottas on the front row, Bottas ahead of Hamilton this time. A Mercedes front row lookout for the first time this season. Verstappen in third place, Lando Norris in fourth, then Sergio Perez in fifth place in the other Red Bull. Not the best performance, it's behind the McLaren of Lando, who crashed in practice, of course. Leclerc sixth, Sainz seventh, his teammate, then Gasly in eighth. And running at the top 10 is Vettel and Stroll in the two Aston Martins in ninth and 10th, respectively. Russell, great qualifying performance in 11th place. Surprisingly, Alpine would be up there in 12th and 13th, respectively, as well. Ricciardo in 14th, a disappointing session for him. Raikkonen and Tsunoda would go on the 8th row of the grid. The penultimate row would consist of Giovinazzi, who crashed, of course, and Schumacher, and rounding out the field was Latifi and Nikita Mazepin in the Haas. You're watching Arsenal Asia AF1 2021 Round 7 practice and qualifying highlights, and I hope you enjoyed.